Jésù kí lórí èrò mi ti fẹ́ lọ kí ọjọ́ ayé òwe rẹ̀ sí mi tí ọjọ́
We have in the studio of Puff Television this moment a computer guru, an icon in Ekiti State, Revd. Biyi Fashoyin. Reverend, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, I understand you are the DG to the Ekiti State University Alumni Association.
Support group for BAO.
Okay.
I remember I was at this studio sometime before, when we were taking a look at the players, within the political space. And as at that time, we hadn't had the BAO.
There are also a lot of mineral resources in Ekiti. How many of them are tapped in Ekiti at this point? I know that we have a lot in different places, so we need to go there and begin to bring the wealth out instead of just concentrating on once we pay salary, that's the end. No, I think we must generate wealth in Ekiti. And the signs are that there are young men, there are young people who have the capability to do this. Ekiti has to find them out. We have another chance coming up next year. I think Ekiti people should begin to ask themselves questions. Do you want to stay and somebody gives you 10,000 naira for a vote, and then you go to Yasilifa and Itamala, and that's the end? Or do you need somebody that is an answer to your problems, to your challenges, and it's right before your face, but it doesn't have that money? Why don't we pick that one? So we don't eat our muscle now. We don't eat, give our future for the next 4 years with somebody for fun.
So eventually, when BAO came out, the university alumni decided to back him, which was a risk at that time, considering the fact that the alumni has a lot of people in SDP, PDP, in every other party, but we took a chance on him at that time because he was the only student who was aspiring at that level.
We will run an issue-based campaign.
But it was only fair. The PDP guy was from one polytechnic somewhere, so he was the only one that came from our university. And we felt that okay, and he had always been a very, very good supporter of the alumni. So the alumni said, okay, let's go ahead and back him. And so we decided to form the support group from the alumni, essentially for him. And I was made the Director General of that organization. It wasn't just an amorphous contraption. It was formed and we were on the road. We hit the road. We campaigned in all the local governments. Well, actually the only one. Even the APC didn't campaign at that time. I think the only campaign they did was that last one when Ashwaji came. Were in every city campaigning for him. My conviction was very strong because he was somebody that I knew very well. We were in the same hostel. We were friends and we're still friends. So that's how that organization came. People were like, no, why? Maybe APC has paid you people. Maybe they promised you people positions, this, that. After all, there are other people who are PDP, who are SDP, whatever. And we said, look, any member of the alumni that was going to contest for any election, we will back them. It doesn't make us political. But this one was the highest political position. And the previous president had said hitherto that the next governor would come from that state. So it was a prophecy we wanted to fulfill, and we fulfilled it.
How was the campaign then for you, for your group?
Yeah,
How easy was it?
It was not easy. It was very tough. It was capital intensive. We did not have any support from anybody, not even APC. We didn't even take a pin from them. Instead, we gave them stuff. We supported them because he was our candidate. So the alumni all over the world came together and said, we're going to do this, and it was a very big it was a big structure, a real campaign structure. I was DG, we had deputy DG, we had financial, whatever we had. Yeah, so I think it's first of its type in Nigeria, actually. And you know, although we've always created first. You have the first alumni village in Africa. So I think it was the risk and it was worth it. And I'm sure that every other university will take a cue from what we did.
So funding came mainly from the alumni?
Members alone, willingly. There was no taxing of anybody. We just, Biyi, we heard that you guys are doing this, okay, please send the account number. And that was it. And they would say, oh no, there's a campaign account number. And people sent it there. And then we had, of course, we had auditors, just the normal organization.
So wouldn't it affect the neutrality of the association that should be expected by even students of the university?
It didn't affect anything. In fact, it made it stronger. Because we're interested in our school. The school doesn't know whether you're APC or PDP. If you are APC and I'm PDP, if you have a son and I have a son in that same school, it doesn't matter what party coloration we're from. Before then, we had an issue of some people, over 300 people that were sacked. So there was a lot of problems in that place at that time. There was a lot of arrears, backlogs, not paid. And we went to him. We said, okay, we want to back you. But this and this and this and these are the developments that must come back to that university. And he said, by God's grace, he will do it. We want people who are sacked to return back to office. And he said, yes. And he fulfilled all these promises. Now, everybody is happy with the alumni. If you finish from that university and you are governor, your conscience would sear you. Biodun Abayomi was not just in that school, he also was a lecturer in that same university for 4 years. His wife was a lecturer for 10 years. So he was, as secretary, he was also on the council. You know, several times he was on the same council. So it was the interest of our university first, and of course, more than ever before, the interest of Ekiti. We also looked at that this guy would do well for Ekiti because we know him. He wasn't a politician. Biodun had never contested for any position in his life. Please go and verify. He never contested for anything in his life, either as a student or outside. He has never. That's the first thing he ever did. So we knew him. I was parent of the students union in 1989, 90. He didn't contest. He was just there cheering us on. We were doing the Luther. He never was interested. He was just a serious person. So with his academics. So we knew him. I was deputy managing director of one of the biggest companies in Nigeria. I resigned to take up that appointment free, pro bono.
A year after, it is time for stock taking. Yeah. And I want us to start from what he has done for the university, which is his
alma mater.
Yeah. So you said he has redeemed the promises he made to the university. Would you expatiate on
this? Yes. Okay, so there were a lot of problems in that university. There were a lot of problems before then. One of the biggest one was the issue of this industrial problem. You know, the workers, also all the strikes. When they said one governor, I'm not going to mention the governor now because I don't want to political. The governor got there and said, oh, no, who took these people? They took them well without, I don't know, I can't support them, and then they sacked them. And so there was a problem.
This government in the last 3 years has been owing us 5 months subvention. And without this subvention, we will not be able to take salary. It means then that in the 3 years of this administration, we have been owed 5 months salaries. So we consider it a very callous act, an act of wickedness.
And so we needed somebody that would, regardless of where he was coming from, be able to say, okay, let me sit down and see which is best for that university.
How many people were those sacked?
More than 30 people were sacked, and they've been restated. There have been backlogs of payments not made. He's paid a lot of them.
Salaries?
Yes, salaries. I was also appointed to be on the committee that positioned that university at the dying end of Fahimi's era. I was on that committee. It was headed by Dr. Woshusi, myself, and some few people.
Former registrar?
Yes. We went around the country. We presented a massive position. And Biodun said he will work with that position. And that's what he's doing right now. He's following all the things we said. He has appointed a new governing board headed now by Professor Oyebode, who was formerly a vice professor of law. He has repositioned even at Ikere, he has repositioned all of those places, new boards. I was there at the government house to see all these things. And most of the things we talked about, infrastructure, interventions up and down, he's been able to, he's doing, in 1 year, this is the biggest revolution ever witnessed in Ekiti history. And I think anybody can say that in town.
1 year assessment of Governor Oyebanji outside the university, his alma mater.
There was a webinar we had with him, he and his entire cabinet, the SSG, the deputy governor, all the commissioners, SSAs, and I was one of the moderators. And from agriculture, the 6 pillars, agriculture, education, sports, entertainment.
Our promise to create jobs is premised on the understanding that job creation is an outcome, not an activity. With this in mind, we have identified some of the drivers, market and industry that create jobs and intend to nurture them and give them the enabling structure and support required to deliver the jobs we need. Therefore, our focus will be on A, micro, small and medium enterprises financing and support. We will ensure that all our children continue to access free and quality basic education up to SS3, with curriculums that prepare them adequately for future learning or job market. We will also invest in a tertiary institution to ensure we continue to produce best-in-class graduates across various disciplines. We are going to develop strategic partnerships to grow our portfolio of tourism assets and attractions. We will also support young creative entrepreneurs in the state with a dedicated fund and prioritize skills development in arts and culture.
The reason I said this was the best candidate, regardless of political affiliation, was the fact that this was the secretary at the creation of Ekiti State.
Okay.
He was secretary. When his friends, most of his friends were doing good jobs, he refused to do it. He stayed with all those old men, Bafe Babalola, all the
first one,
and some of the patriarchs that have even gone. He was there, the youngest. He was in his 20s. He was there as he served as secretary.
The last time we met like this was October 1, 1996. I don't take credit for it. Many of the men who came up here belong to different political tendencies and traditions. Many of our candidates who worked hard to make this a reality today did not have political coloration. Many just had an Ekiti coloration. And anything that would work in the ultimate best interest of Ekiti State was the driving force and impetus behind the agenda to create Ekiti State.
People of the fountain.
When he left that place, he was secretary, SA, parliamentary to Adebayo. And later he became chief of staff. Still at his very young age. So he has been within the system. He was from then a commissioner. From being a commissioner, he moved on to the SSG. If you look at that trajectory, you'll see that he was the most prepared. That's the truth. Except we want to be political. If you look at all the other candidates, he was the only one who grew in the system. He was a homeboy. So he took, like somebody said, he took the street credibility of Fashoyin, took the urbanness of Adebayo, took the elite panache of Fayemi, combined all together. He also took, let me say, this humility of Oni. Or he took the humility of Oni, combined that together, and that's what you can see in Ekiti. In 2022, there was no foreign direct investment in Ekiti. He attracted 25% foreign direct investment, $25,000 foreign direct investment in this last quarter where he became governor. So you can be sure that if you are looking at next year, the capex index will obviously rise, because now the security, we can tell. You know, as at the time he came in, you remember that there was also a lot of kidnapping. All those ones have gone. He went to the roads. You see Bao in action in almost every local government, trying to fix, in spite of the fact that, as at the time he came, the rains were on, the money wasn't there, but he did a lot.
Láàárín ọ̀sẹ̀ kan péré tí Bao gorí àlééfà yẹ gómìnà wa tuntun tí à ń sọ yìí, oríṣiríṣi iṣẹ́ àkànṣe ló ti ń lọ ní Èkìtì o. Ara ẹni eléyìí tí ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́ yìí, àtúnṣe àwọn ọ̀nà níbi àwọn kòtò ìyẹn ni Bao fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́. Ká tó máa wí ká tó máa gbọ́ la gbọ́ pé ó tún ju àjẹ́lẹ̀ owó oṣù léyìí tó ti jẹ láti bí ọdún 5 fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ìbílẹ̀. Rí i pé bí ti wò ó rí, èyí ó wà wí, èyí ó wà sọ, wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ dáradára. Àwa wá ń sọ wípé tó gbogbo ojú tó ń wò wá báyìí àti ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti máa wo ètò yìí níbikíbi jálẹ̀jákọ̀ àgbálá ayé, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ wípé ìgbà ọ̀tun ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́kìtì pẹ̀lú ìjọba tuntun gómìnà Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji. Bao
ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ dáadáa, ọ̀nà ajẹ́ kó parí dáadáa, ṣùgbọ́n kó ṣọ́ra fún àwọn sycophant mímọ́ Yorùbá ẹ̀ ni o.
Àwọn ẹlẹ́tàn.
Àwọn ló pọ̀ jù níjọba.
Àwọn máa jó lọ́mọ ń wẹ̀ yẹn.
Kó ṣọ́ra fún wọn. Èmi ò ṣe ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ APC o, mi ò dẹ̀ ń ṣe ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ PDP, ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ SDP ni mí. Ṣùgbọ́n lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí Bao tán ṣe ìbúra fún, mo rí pé ó máa ṣe dáadáa lẹ́kìtì. Torí kó tó dà pé ó gorí oyè yẹn ló ti ń tọ̀ gbogbo ìgboro. Ẹnu ìgbà tó dẹ̀ tún ṣe tán, àtúnrí tó ti fẹsẹ̀ rìn. Àwọn tí ò mọ̀ nígbà tó ń kàǹpé, wọ́n tún rí nígbà tó bọ́nlẹ̀ tó fẹsẹ̀ rìn. Inú wa dẹ̀ ń dùn sí, especially junction nova wọ̀nyí sí Bàṣírí, ó ń túnṣe gbogbo ibi tó jẹ́ pé ó ti bàjẹ́ tómi àpọ̀nkún tán fẹ́ lè máa kẹja síbẹ̀. Gbogbo bẹ̀ náà ti lẹ́bùn sí, tóníkálukú ti ń rìn freely, go slow, ó stop, oníkálukú dẹ̀ ń gbádùn. Òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba náà tún ní mí tí mo ti fẹ̀yìntì. Ṣùgbọ́n a tún wò pé lára àwọn àjẹ́lẹ̀ tó ti jẹ́, ó ti san àwọn kan fún local government and teacher state. À ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Inú wa dẹ̀ túnbọ̀ máa dùn, k'Ọlọ́run bá wa fún lágbára kó túnbọ̀ máa ṣe dáadáa sí.
Bao ọmọ náà gbà ní tí ò lè ṣí ti yọ, torí Èkìtì náà bí, Èkìtì ló gbé dàgbà, Èkìtì ló ti school, ó dẹ̀ mọ gbogbo ìyà tó ń jẹ àwọn Èkìtì. So ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé a ṣe dáadáa ju àwọn aṣáájú lọ. Torí mo gbàgbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́nà sà, ọjọ́ kejì tó ti gorí àléfà ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe tọ́ gbogbo ìgboro Adó. Àwọn pọ́ọ̀tò tó dẹ̀ wá gbogbo títì láti rí ipa ọwọ́ iṣẹ́ lọ́rẹ̀ lára ẹ̀ tó ti ń fìl fún àwọn èèyàn láti lè rìn. Ìkejì sà, nínú àwọn owó tó ń jẹ àti gbọ́n sí àtàlà ti tún ní tó. So àwa táǹtajà inú wa lè dùn pé a fẹ́ ṣọdún, torí ọwọ́ tó bá ti ń gbowó àwa táǹtajà àwa máa ríra.
Ṣe ni mo jí ní ìdájí ní déédéé aago 4 ni mo déédéé rí àláàtì fún wò pé ta ló ṣàánú mi, ta lẹni tó fún mi lówó ẹ̀, ni mo déédéé rí ìná March àbí kìíní kan 2018. Mo kọ́kọ́ fò dìde lórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì, mo jókòó dáadáa, mo ní owó wo lélẹ̀. Mo wá rántí pé òwí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mà ló má dàbẹ́ pé arákùnrin tá à ń wí Bao yìí máa fẹ́ jẹ́ ipò mà ṣe ó Bao, ebi alẹ́ ò mà ní pa yín o.
Ọlọ́run àtúbọ̀ máa wà pẹ̀lú wọn. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ máa dàjọba wọn rú, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kán bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ papọ̀.
A sì gbà ládùúrà wípé àsìkò tó ń wọlé yà tù wá lára.
Bao in action, ìgbà ọ̀tun lẹ́kìtì.
Go to agriculture. What Ekiti will witness by the time the circle is complete, let's say from the first quarter of next year, it would amaze you. Hybrids, cocoa, palm kernel in thousands. You know, the only difference in him and some others is that he did not blow he wasn't telling everybody, yeah, this is what we have done. Man, Ekiti is in for it, I can assure you.
We are doing everything to provide the necessary leadership that will make the government serve our people and help them to attain prosperity and vision. To achieve this, we strategically spread our prosperity agenda on 6 broad pillars of our administration and get our people involved in the implementation through periodic engagement.
He promised us we should keep him on his toes. We're not going to spare him. If he's going to do anything, we will tell him, bros, you're not, and he says he's ready for criticism.
There was a lot of crisis as a result of his emergence. Some people saw him as an imposition. How do you see that?
Well, I'm not a politician. As far as I'm concerned, the dialectics of the political gerrymandering remains with the politicians. We are not concerned, we are not part of the party. I cannot say. If you go to PDP, people talked the same now. They said that, there are a lot of crises between the Mama Olujimi's faction and Oni left PDP. So it's in all the parties. There is no party that will say, oh, after they finished, we were all the ones that, it's 100%. So it's in all parties. For me, it's immaterial. But the aftermath of that election, so what happened? Let's pick his biggest opponents, right? Let's pick Kaode Ojo.
Let us reorganize, recompose the list of people that are going to conduct this election.
I am not going to step down for nobody.
Let's pick MOB.
Whatever name has been submitted to INEC as the name of the governorship candidate of APC in Ekiti State is only a dummy name.
The whole process is a farce.
Let's pick Bafem.
I'm not troubled by imposition, by what you call endorsement, by any quarter.
We respect the right of every aspirant and every freeborn individual of the state to aspire to this office. As many as are interested are welcome. As far as we are concerned, the more the merrier. And we know that after the primary, we all come together as one united family.
At the end of the day, those who went to court in line with their rights as free citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in line with the extant laws of the Electoral Act. They went through the system. They went through to the Supreme Court. And Kaode has not left the party, he's still there. MOB said, well, I agree, it's okay, go ahead. MOB is today the fourth most powerful person in Nigeria as the majority leader of the Senate.
He's governing the state in a new political order. Where he said most Nigerians are new benefits. And doing everything to unite the various groups.
So it doesn't matter then what happened in the primaries. They chose him or they imposed him or they selected him or whatever. At the end of the day, the party has been able to manage the after effects of whatever it is that happened in their primaries.
He has the ability and tenacity to make sure that all that he has put together, he puts to work for the state.
People of the fountain.